Good morning. Mhm. Good morning. Mhm. So I thought, I've been playing music on my intros. And it turns out that those videos are still getting marked with like a copyright, even though those are covers. um, they aren't getting taken down and I'm not getting stricken and there aren't any restrictions being put on them, but because they are getting marked with a copyright, it's making me hesitant to continue to showcase covers when I start my streams. So, because of that, I am today starting completely entirely without music. Um, However, with that being said, today I wanted to do something slightly different than what I've been doing. My morning streams are going to remain dedicated to uh, Elden Ring lore because that's what you guys are used to me talking about, and that's what I want to do. I love Elden Ring lore, even though like everyone's coming to like the climax of all of their theories, and a lot of people are, I figured it out, I figured it out, I figured it out, and some of them may well have. um I still have some of my own ideas. I still have kind of my own perspective on what's going on in the world, and what characters are good and bad, and I also recognize that the theory that I have about Mikola being the mastermind, and having put forth like this plan that involved us doing everything we've done because he wants us to take his all of the kindness of gold forth, is because he knows there's no stopping what's already been done, which is why he stripped himself of everything. La 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 la. It's a whole theory. I'm definitely going to hammer it out in an actual video with like editing and maybe like a very loose script, definitely with bullet points and editing out all of my and like long pauses because Jack told me to, and I always do everything Jack tells me to. No, just kidding. Um, Speaking of which, I learned, and hello, Robin. I learned that there is a creepy, stalkery person who may have subscribed to me with like 6 or 10 different accounts, and they're the same creepy, stalkery person. I just want for this creepy, stalkery person to know that I say fuck all the time. I'm very unladylike, and you may even catch me burping out loud on stream. So I'm definitely not like the perfect little princess that you want to project all of your fancies onto. Um, I'm a gamer girl. Yes, Robin, indeed, that is a creepy person. That is a creepy person. And so, anyway, creepy person, if you are out there, if you are listening, kindly unsubscribe because this is not a safe place for you. This is a safe place for everyone else who is good and kind, and whatever you are, gay, queer, straight, black, white, whatever you are safe here, but not if you're a fucking creeper, and not if you're a racist, and not if you're a hateful, bigoted person. Otherwise, this is a safe place for you. So if you are not, please kindly fuck off. Um, and with that being said, I want to go back to what I was saying beforehand. Hopefully, the person will unsubscribe. Um, but what I was saying beforehand is I do want to keep my morning streams about um, Elden Ring lore, and eventually I'll get into other games and do other game lore and stuff like that. But it will be something that my audience is ready for. I'm not going to thrust things on you that you guys aren't familiar with or comfortable with or care about. Don't care about. I am, however, obsessed with dinosaurs. I've always been obsessed with dinosaurs, and I wanted to show those of you who may not know that this even exists, a game that I love to play every now and then, that nobody will play with me because because they think it's boring. But I'm obsessed with it because I can be a dinosaur. I haven't played it in a really long time because it's still in development, and there's balancing issues and all kinds of things, like you fall through the map and all kinds of weird stuff. But it's beautiful, and the developers are controversial to a certain point, but there are also in and amongst them super based, amazing developers. The animator is my very favorite developer. Her name is Kissin' Kitten. Shout out to Kissin' Kitten. I know she'll never see this, but she is my favorite. But I do love Dondi. I love that, like Miyazaki, he is cruel to his gamer audience. He loves to torture us, which makes for interesting gameplay. So anyway, I just wanted to say, today, for a short while, I'm going to showcase The Isle, which is a game that I have loved for years. So you're going to see a little bit of that, and then I'll go back to Elden Ring. Hi, Aiden Deal. Hello. But yeah, and then I'll go back to Elden Ring, and we'll talk Elden Ring lore, and we'll do the usual stuff that you guys have become accustomed to me doing, my 200 followers, which thank you all, thank you very much. By the way, Aiden Deal is a brilliant musician and sound person that I've been following for a really long time. And on his channel, he does a reading of the Neverending Story, like I've been talking to like everybody about. He does that, and he does a really brilliant job of it. If you guys want to hear him, or you just want to hear the book and you don't have time to read it, he does an incredible job. If you are interested, if you are curious, please go to Aiden Dill's channel and have a listen to his Neverending Story narrations. It's utterly brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to call you out. There are musicians everywhere. Yes, there are, Enoch. We are a rare breed, aren't we? But no, we're not. We're like so common. But anyway, so for now, I'm gonna get into this super nerdy game, and I hope that I won't lose everyone's interest. I'm not gonna be playing this for long. Like I said, I'm just gonna showcase it a little bit, and then I'll get into my normal stuff. Go to Elden Ring and talk lore for all of you that are interested in me doing that. So, what I love about this game is you can be a dinosaur, and and it's not like cutesy wootsy, precious, adorable. I mean, kind of. There are some that are that way, but they will be eviscerated and disemboweled and eaten. So it's a very violent, horrific game, but I love it. I'm not going to be... Oh, I might be a Diabloceratops because they're mega cute. They're like the little piggy of the dinosaur world. So you will see me create a little piggy. Let's see. I'll save my first skin. Oh, they have 3 patents. Let's go with, since it's male display, I won't see it on my character anyway because I chose female, and there is a little bit of sexual dimorphism in the game. The really cool thing about the audience that this game is aimed at is it's a lot of dinosaur nerds. Some of them are, you know, like adults like me, but there's tons of children playing this super violent dinosaur game. So I don't really socialize with anyone, but I do love to play, and sometimes I'll play with people, but I don't really talk to people, especially because the more you talk, the more people are gonna know like where you are on the map. And a lot of people like to just blab and blab and blab, and every time you talk, like you type something, only dinosaurs of your same species can see it. However, everybody can hear your little dinosaur go like meh, including predators. So if they're like walking through the woods and they hear like meh meh meh, then they'll come running over and kill you. So I am going to I'm gonna make my little girl very stealthy, so hopefully she will survive. So we're gonna do dark against the floor, maybe with like a lighter underbelly. Oh, this is her back, so we'll stick with dark. We don't want to be too dark though, because I've noticed if you are too dark, you stick out. So if you're low to the ground and you are like a bottom feeder, like this little one is, you want to stay with neutral colors, and you want them to be kind of not too dark but not too bright, so you don't stick out. And having a little bit of contrast between dark and bright is also really good, because then you'll be playing with shadows and stuff like that. I'm trying to do the thing that sharks do, where they're like light underneath and dark on top. I love having purple eyes. It's a thing I do. Yeah. Yeah, I love this game. I hope that everyone's not going to be completely bored watching me play it. And I'm not going to play it for long. I'm just going to kind of show off the game a little bit. I know a lot of people aren't familiar with it. Not sure what changed. I think, okay, so this is a baby. And when you log in, like when you first get into the game, you're going to be a baby. But you grow as you survive. It's a survival game. And this is what my patterns will look like when I am an adult. Which is hideous, by the way. So I'm going to change it again. Hideous. She just looks bloody awful, doesn't she? So let's go with maybe a little bit lighter. There we go. That looks a bit better. Maybe this still is too dark. Is there like a lighter? Ugh. Maybe that's the best I'm gonna get. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, that's probably the best I'm going to get. Making coffee while I'm watching and realizing you would voice a great childlike empress. You know what though? I have a friend who would do it way better. Way better. Her name is Kite Tails, and she has just a wonderful voice. She has a wonderful voice, and I think she would do a fantastic job. Hello, Chance. Yes, dinosaurs. Yes, dinosaurs. Let's see. Yeah, if you guys like this enough, I will 100% do this more often. I'm just kind of expecting, you know, it's very niche. I showed something to Kite that had dinosaurs in it, and she was like, "This is so Kate." So like, that's kind of what I'm expecting the general reaction to be. Is like, "Oh, this is very Kate." Like you know, my boyfriend, for example, is just like, "Oh, psh, dinosaurs." Tweaks, for example, psh, dinosaurs. So I think it's kind of it's mostly a me thing. But yeah, so I'm going to be this cute little Porky. Baby Diablosaurus. Diabloceratops, I believe it's called. Alright, so if I want to save it, I hit the save button. It used to let you name what you've saved them. Maybe it just doesn't do that anymore, I don't know. But anyway, so now I'm confirming. And I'm gonna, this game is horrifying, but I've done something a little bit boring. I joined a PvE server. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I should go back and join a server where I might actually get killed, so I can show you how horrifying this game is. Let's do unofficial. Apparently a lot of people alright, let's see. What? Alright, semi-realism. Those are the good ones, because these dinosaurs are supposed to have, like, depending on what dinosaur you play, you're supposed to behave in a particular way. And the dinosaur that I chose, the Diabloceratops, is supposed to be really territorial and aggressive, even toward other herbivores. So a lot of players will just spot you and just insta-fuck you up. Yes, T-Rex divested its horribleness. It became a chick. Oh, you know what though? I could be other cutesy rootsy things. I could be a pteranodon. I could show you guys a lot more, like, flying around. That's true. I'll do that. They may have changed a lot about these guys. I know that they were... Don D was saying, like, he doesn't want any animal to be safe. And these guys flying around, they're, like, too safe. So he was like, oh, I think I'm gonna change it up so that these guys have to land more often, which is cruel and unusual, and I hate it. Oh, that's pretty. Body, let's be pink. Let's just be a pink dinosaur. Underbelly, just purple. Pink and purple. No, the orange looks really good. I think I'll go with the orange. And you know I have to have my purple eyes. And let's look at the different patterns. We can do toggle gliding. This is what we look like when we're gliding. Isn't that cool? Pattern B. Pattern C. Ooh, pattern C is gorgeous. I like that a lot. And like I said, there's sexual dimorphism in this game, so you can see the crest of my pteranodon is really small because I'm playing a female. When you watch her shrink and see how her eye gets bigger, they're really good with science in this game. And of course these dinosaurs are not always like perfectly scientifically accurate, because for example they aren't showcased with a lot of feathers. But yes, 100% we know factually many dinosaurs, not just non-avian predators, like what do you call them? How come I can't think of this word? Theropods, thank you. Not just non-avian theropods had feathers. Like we're talking about all kinds of dinosaurs had feathers. And Psittacoceratops, which is a tiny itty bitty ceratopsian dinosaur that doesn't have any horns, but it does have the beak and the frill. It had quills all over its tail, just like bird quills, like, you know, undeveloped feathers. So we know for a fact that feathers were around in dinosaur genes, like in a very early in their evolution. And I'm so sorry for those of you who don't believe in evolution and stuff. Like, I subscribe to science. I'll be talking science, but I don't mean it to be exclusive to anyone who subscribes to a religion that discounts evolution. And I'm not saying it to be offensive. It's just what I believe and what paleontologists believe, and science kind of backs it up, and we have the fossil evidence and everything. So it's just something I'm saying. But anyway, let's be a dinosaur. Ooh. The locations that I have are awful. Let's just do water access. There's going to be loads of people here. Okay, good. Brilliant. I'm glad, Chance. Alright, so as you can see, well, as you can't see, it is very dark. Gosh, things have changed. Alright, so I turned my night vision on. I am hungry. And I don't know what that blinking thing is in the bottom of my screen, but I'm gonna fly toward the water. I can kind of see it. And I'm gonna do my best to just glide as much as I can, because I use my stamina a lot if I'm flapping my wings, but I do need to keep a lift, so I will be flapping periodically. But we are going to watch the surface of the water. I guarantee you there's a bunch of people playing crocodiles, and they're here in this water, and they're waiting for me to swoop down. So what I need to look for are two things. I need to look for crocodiles, but I also need to look for ripples on the surface, and I can sniff by pressing Q, and as you see there, my electromagnetic sensory has popped up, but also my sense of smell. And you see that S that just popped? Oh, you see the ripples in the water there? That's a crocodile. But do you see that which looks like proteins? That is that's food that I could get. It's probably in the water. I'm probably gonna fly right over it. But that S that was around here somewhere is also water. Yeah, see, there's a crocodile right there. And it's waiting for me to go down so it can eat me. But yeah, you can sniff things out. You can sniff out water, as you see there on my compass, which that's the really cool way that they did the compass, is they made it your electromagnetic sensory system as an animal. So you can see that's south with a dip downward, and that's north. And I believe I'm toward the north end of this section of the island. So if I go north, like, there's literally just the beach there. I think those splashes on the surface of the water over there are actually fish. I might dive. But recently in the game there's been changes, and I think among them are genetic adaptations, and I think some of the crocodiles can jump out of the water. And if they can, I'm very much in danger flying around like this, but I need food really bad. And I think that's food right there I might be able to get. It's a little bit big for me. I don't know if I'll be able to lift it up. Let's see if I can go for my vitamins. Over here, my proteins. See that thing right there? Oh, what was that? Oh, it's a fish. Okay. Oh, there's a crocodile. Ah! I'm so scared. Look at the little baby crocodile. It's a little baby one. I'm nervous to fish here because it's dark and I can't see anything. Yeah, with no context, it really is scary as fuck. But yeah, this I love this game so much, and no one will play with me. So I'm just a little lonely pterosaur hovering over the lake. That's from Winnie the Pooh. I'm just a little lonely pterosaur. Pay no attention to me. Alright, what's that there? Is that food? It is food. Is it rotted? We'll find out. Turn around. There's probably food there rotting because there is an alligator nearby. Oh, there's a baby crocodile! Did you see that? There's a baby crocodile. Oh, they're friend calling me because they want me to land so they can eat me. Yeah, you can't trust anybody in this game. Even adult pterosaurs might just kill me and then take my body off to the shoreline to like act as a decoy. So I really have to be really careful. But I think I can see a little bit better with the moonlight. I might try to find some more jumping fish. So long as there's not an alligator somewhere waiting for me to do that. So as this animal, I can skim the surface, which is dangerous, but it's a good way of catching fish if you see a school of fish in the water. The other thing that you can do, if you're really good, is just peck. Right when you go by where the fish are. If you are low enough and you peck, sometimes you will grab a fish, which is really, really cool. I don't see any more fish schools, so I may have to search for a corpse somewhere to eat. You see a silhouette of a dinosaur what? Kate isn't in this vid. It is literally kill or be killed in this world, yes. I don't see any fishies. This is another one of the grievances a lot of people have with this game, is there's not a lot of AI, so when you are a helpless baby creature like I am. Oh! Did you hear that? I was a grown crocodile. I don't know why in a dinosaur game people are playing bloody crocodiles, but they do. Because you can't really see them very well under the water. Oh my god! Look! That crocodile is doing the most. But yeah, I'm going to starve to death if I don't find something soon, so I might just try to scavenge along the beach. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, baby alligators. I can't land over there and try to eat, because they will kill me. But a lot of the time along the beach you can find crabs or turtles, and they're relatively defenseless. And as a little baby like this, I can you can't play as a fish, sadly, but you can be a little Biposaurus, which is kind of like a penguin, and they swim really fast and jump really high. They're like a penguin dolphin dinosaur, which are really, really cool. And then you can be a crocodile, or you can be a pterosaur. I think we are the only sea-going or like aquatic animals on the map for now. I might turn my night vision off, and maybe I'll be able to see better. No, night vision definitely is helping. Well, I thought playing this animal would be helpful, because I I could like showcase more of it to you, but now I'm starting to have regrets and think that I'm probably just gonna starve to death straight away. Oh, and you see those footprints up there on the compass? That is showing us where a migration zone is, and the closer, like see how at the bottom the footprints are glowing a little bit, but then they're see-through, like transparent as you go further up. It's showing us basically how far away we are from it, and we are mega far away. But as this species of dinosaur, we are very independent from migration zones, because migration zones are heavily occupied by herbivores, and so then they basically make a game trail. So wherever a migration zone is, herbivores are either going there or they're, were just recently there. And they do a scent delay thing where carnivores can't smell the game trail instantly. That it gives herbivores like 30 minutes to an hour to get the food they need before the migration zone changes and the carnivores are clued in. So any herbivores who are straggling and eating leftover vegetation can become easy prey for predators. As far as mates, yes, you can mate. This game has been in development for like 7 or 8 years, maybe even longer than that. Might be 11 years actually. But it started out as a very different game than it is now. It was supposed to be kind of like a dinosaur shooter game, and there will be humans in it eventually. It's supposed to be something like Jurassic Park. Which is why you saw like a bridge and a dam and all that stuff. But for now, the humans don't really have weapons, so it's not really, there's no really, not a point in playing a human right now. But and you can see I'm about to starve. I'm about to start taking damage from starvation. But anyway, so yeah, it's been in development for a really long time, but they've changed how many dinosaurs are in the game. They've changed the graphics. They've changed all kinds of stuff to really improve the game. And the guy who is like the lead developer, he's always telling people, don't donate to me, don't do this, don't do that. I have way more than enough money to make this game and to hire like good people. So he has like a good development team and everything, but he's also not abusive to them. Like he's not chasing a release date and all this other stuff. And in the meantime, he lets you buy the game and play it to your heart's content. So I think it's a fair deal. It's not done yet, but it's still playable. It's still fun. It does come with problems. Like for example, I'm about to starve to death because I couldn't find food. But I'm also being avoidant of other players. If I were being more of a risky player, I might have better luck finding food. Did you hear that scream in the distance? But I don't, I'm scared of everything. You'll just hear me scream and flail and stuff. I know I need protein very badly. My poor baby birdie is gonna starve to death. I'm a bad mother because I'm scared of everything. And I certainly don't smell anything at all. Actually, let's see what time it is. You can look at what time it is. It is only 2:10. Might be worth it for me to try to go back to the dam. I'm getting some altitude here. Yeah, it might be worth it for me to go back to the dam. But you can see, like, they made a beautiful map. The guy that they have doing the map, he does, what do you call it, terrain art? Is that what you call it? It's called something like that. Landscape art. He's a landscape artist. And um, this is America's final form. No, just kidding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of it's definitely me nerding out. Sadly, I think I'm about to die. Um, which, you know, big bummer, but yeah, it's a gorgeous game. Like I was saying, like they did such a good job with the lighting, and like if I turn my night vision off, this is what it looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous. Beautiful lighting, and the story behind the game is really cool. And I definitely want to be one of the first YouTubers doing the deep lore of this game, because there is a lot of lore to this game. It's a really cool story. It's heartbreaking. It's horrifying, and just really, 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 really cool. So I'm probably just gonna die. Do you see how there's red like filling up around my screen? That's how they showcase that you are taking damage, and I'm literally taking starvation damage right now. I'm gonna try to get enough altitude to get on top of the dam, but I think I'm fucked. Ooh, I might have just made it. And if I remember correctly, to slow down mid-air is Z, and I can, yeah, I can get a nice safe landing here, and maybe get a little bit of what do you call it? Stamina back before I go try desperately to get a fish. Yes, there are humans. This is like Jurassic Park. I'm a science experiment. I'm not a real dinosaur. I am a genetically engineered science experiment. And they've been breeding me on this island. And something happened, whether intentional or not. And so the premise of the game is you're supposed to uncover what happened. If you're a human, the gameplay is you're supposed to uncover what happened, go from one place in the island to the next, collecting weapons, food, whatever you need to survive, avoiding dinosaurs, and you are supposed to turn the power back on. You're supposed to get the park running again, not to like build the park and have a wonderful place or whatever, but strictly so that you can survive and call for help and wait until someone comes to help you. So it's a survival game with that in mind. And now the moon is gone, kind of low, and it's going to be hard to see again. But I think what I'll do is just be brave and have a good sniff. There's food down here. I'm probably about to get eaten. One thing I can do to ensure my survival is take a piece of meat and fly away with it. Oh no! Alright, I don't have enough stamina to fly. So, I'm gonna stay along the water's edge. I'm in so much peril right now. You guys have no idea. Alright, okay. I'm just gonna eat. I might as well while I'm here. Hey, whatever gets you views, right? So the interesting thing about the crocodiles is the moment I touch the water, they will be able to sense it. The players who are playing crocodiles will be able to sense me touching the surface of the water. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I have to drink and run. I'm not going to stay here much longer. Do you see that little alligator? Oh god, he's going to come get me. I just know it. Alright, I'm going to find some relatively tall grass, or like this bush over here. I'm going to have a sit. I might actually live, you guys. I might actually live. I know, but you know, like, I was literally about to die from starvation, so I had to take the risk. Ah! What was that? Oh, he jumped in the water, okay. Yeah, no, I need enough stamina so I can fly. So, I'm literally just, like, waiting for stamina. The interesting thing about this game is land animals can sniff out food, so like a land animal can sniff out that fish, and then when they get close to the fish they can see my footprints and they could follow me to this bush. So I'm in so much danger. My little arm wings. And yes, life does find a way. Hold on to your butts. I love Samuel L. so much. Oh, I know, it's so horrifying. But but daylight's coming, so I should be much better at surviving in the daylight. Gosh, I'm still so young. I wonder how long it takes to grow now. They must have changed it, because these guys used to grow really fast. Click to show... Oh, skin code. That's cool. But you can see my stats. I'm a carnivore. It used to say piscivore, which means you just eat fish. But I guess they changed it because we can eat things that aren't fish too. Depending on what your diet is, like if you have a good diet, it increases your growth rate by 10%, obviously. But you can have an ideal diet or a perfect diet, and that would be me filling these two things up with something either from this list or this list. And as you can see, we can eat all kinds of things. Rabbit, Troodon, Psittacosaurus, Biposaurus, Pterodactylus, bullfrog, Hypsilophodon, chicken, crab, and schooling fish. I like that Tyler's completely thrown and has no idea what's going on. I'm just being a dinosaur for a little bit and showing everyone life isn't easy being someone who flies on the breezy. But anyway, so I'm a little baby pteranodon. I'm gonna fly to safety just in case someone does come along. Turn my night vision on. Oh, it is on. Yeah, you see, I'm like an expert flyer. Excuse me. So now I just have to get my stamina back, and I can show you a wee bit more of the island. This is probably the safest place for me to grow, believe it or not. Right now we're trying to solve starvation and fly. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. Everybody's wondering what's going on. I know, this is so completely, like, unprecedented, I guess. Yes, I'm an experiment made by humans, that's why I'm on a bridge. And there's a trail that the humans drive their jeeps on. And yeah, that's the objective as a human, is to get the power back on so you can call for help and to survive long enough for help to actually arrive. You're also supposed to figure out what exactly happened on the island And for a while, they were talking about having different classes of humans. Like, you can be a mercenary who was one of the guards on the island. Um, and then, you know, you don't really know a whole lot about a lot of stuff. You can be someone who was like a tech support person. You can be a medic person, and then you can be one of the scientists who was working on the dinosaurs. That's what they were talking about at first, but I don't know if they're still going to have classes of humans. I know that they are going to have male and female. I know that they are doing right now, like they're getting really close to. I don't know why the shadows are doing all this. They didn't used to be that way, but they're getting really close to releasing T-Rex, and so I'm kind of expecting the game to blow up when that happens, because, you know, everybody wants to be T-Rex. This is called The Isle, and it's still in development after, I think, something like somewhere around 10 years. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But I've been playing it for, I want to say like 5 years. Maybe a little bit more. Yes, it's kind of like Jurassic Park. The guy who is developing the game, his like favorite film ever, his favorite books ever are Jurassic Park, and so it's kind of what prompted him to want to make the game in the first place. So I'll show you some survival techniques of mine in order to avoid crocodiles. So one thing that I do when I want to drink water, which I do right now, is I fly to places I know are very shallow, so you can see through the water. Because if you look like right down there, you see how you can kind of see the dirt under the surface? Places like that where there isn't a steep drop-off are safe places to drink, because you have time to react if there's a crocodile waiting to ambush you. And there's a lot of places around the shoreline like this which have a lot of space before they drop, and they're safe places to drink most of the time. They did recently change it so you can only do like a 180 from side to side. You can't look behind you anymore, which is really horrifying. But yeah, so hurry up and drink. So I'm gonna have to find food again really soon. So what I'm gonna do after I've had my drink is I'm gonna go up to a rock that it doesn't look like raptors can jump on. Raptors can jump really high. And there are raptors in this game, and they're huge and horrifying, and they look exactly like Jurassic Park raptors. So what and they can jump on that wall right there, so I'm gonna go to one of these pillars again, and just rest until my stamina is full, and then I can try out fishing again. I don't know how compelling this kind of gameplay is going to be, like, if I do it frequently, so I don't imagine I'm going to be doing this kind of stuff frequently until, like, I'm doing scary survival stuff and it's actually horrifying. But I just wanted to kind of show the game off, talk about another game that's coming out that has dinosaurs in it, called Kyoru or something like that. Kyuru? Something like that? Oh, there's another pterosaur! Look, it's a baby. Oh, did you hear it call to me? Bye bye, baby pterosaur. Oh, it's turning round. Hey! Hopefully it doesn't peck me to death. Hey, we just grouped. So if you friend call to each other, it automatically groups you. It looks like they are hungry and they are searching for food. Probably as desperately as I was. So So I think it is time to search for food. Whenever you are grouped with another pterosaur, it's a really good idea to not fly too close to them. Because if you fly too close to them, you can have like an aerial accident. And, you know, obviously that's horrible. So you don't want to do that. I'm gonna see if there's any more food lying around. But it's probably better for me to fish now that I can see. So I will just glide around and look for fish. And if this place looks well fished, which it does, I think there's lots of gators trying to grow here, so they'll probably eat up all the food and then try to eat me. So if it looks well fished, I know of another lake that's nearby, but it's much bigger, much more dangerous. Yeah, that would be really cool, Enoch, but it would also probably result in you know, untimely deaths. You have to be really careful because it's, you know, computer and, you know, people's latency and stuff like that. You have to be so careful with flying around other people because they will fuck you up. Maybe there will be food along the river, so I think we're gonna follow the river a little bit. As you can see, the watercolor changes. The river is much more dangerous than lakes because you can't see at all, and crocodiles know that, and so a lot of crocodiles will choose to stay in the rivers and, you know, get people when they try to drink. Yeah, there are definitely more dinosaurs. I will, you know what? I'll just fly to, let me try to fill my belly just a little bit more, and I'll fly to somewhere where I know there are more dinosaurs so that my performance isn't doing very well. Like, see how it's kind of choppy? But I'll try to fly somewhere where there are more dinosaurs so you can have a look at some of these other beautiful dinosaurs that are in this game. They did so well with the creature designs. Huh. Yeah, I'm not certain I'm gonna find any more food this way, so I am gonna turn around. Please don't run into the tree. Oh, hi, Patila. Who is Mark? Patila. Patilosaurus. Oh, it was a reference. Burp, burp, burp. But yeah, so I'm not going to play this game for too much longer. I'll just show off some more dinosaurs. You know what? Let's do that. I'm going to get some altitude. Where I want to go is actually just beyond all the, do you see all those rocks? I need to go up there. See where the greenery kind of dissipates and there's a lot of brownery. Just beyond that is a large lake and there's always tons of dinosaurs there. So I will rest on the side of this rock here so I can get enough stamina for another burst of altitude, and then we should be able to get there easily. And I'll show you more dinosaurs. They are horrifying, they are scary. There are some cute ones, cute tiny ones, but for the most part they are horrifying, they are scary, and they will kill us and we will die. But yeah, one of the things that is most irritating about this game is that actually it can be quite boring because you spend a lot of time sitting to regain stamina. And I know Don D had some plans on how he was going to try to fix that because he didn't people were calling it like a bird bath game for a while because people would find a body of water and just like stick around it and like just sit and call to each other. And it, you know, he was like, that's not what this game is about. So then he started torturing people in different ways, like making that body of water just disappear. And like trying to find ways to force people to move around the map. So yeah, there are a lot of things about this game that could use some fixing, but I think it's gonna feel that way for a while because yeah, bird bath, because because it's in development and this game is not supposed to be a dinosaur documentary gameplay style. It is supposed to be a survival horror game, a science fiction survival horror game. And so what we are playing with right now is like bare bones stuff. I've barely grown. And at some point I'm supposed to be, oh, mutations. I'm supposed to be able to see my mutations. And I don't know how you get them. Oh, okay. Accelerated prey drive. I don't know what that does. Cellular regeneration. Advanced gestation. Sustained hydration. Enlarged meniscus. Efficient digestion. Osteosclerosis. That probably makes you tankier, I imagine. Makes it more difficult for you to break bones. For different animals, it's more likely you'll break your bones. So that makes sense. Oh, wader for, I guess, people who do congenital hypoalgesia. Wow, the words they're putting in this game. I don't imagine a lot of people are going to know how to say that or what it means. But congenital hypoalgesia would basically be the ability to not feel pain or to numb your own pain. So I imagine that's probably going to be really good. Photosynthetic tissue. Do I click on it? Yeah, okay. Faster health, locked health recovery, and higher move speed during the day. Oh, that's brilliant. What about congenital hypoalgesia? Reduce incoming damage when fighting larger species. Oh, that's brilliant. Raptors they're gonna want that. Nocturnal, faster health, locked health recovery, and higher move speed during the night. Wow, hydro regenerative. I need something that's gonna help me with my food. Hemomania. Do extra damage on a bleeding target. Hematophagy? Like they eat blood? Restore some thirst when eating. Oh, that's really good. That one's really good. Congenital implies from birth, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Where is that? Where's the increased inspiratory capacity? Did I miss it? Oh, it's right here. It says increase to... Oh, I would love this. It would make me a better singer. I am a nurse. Why? Did I make myself sound stupid somewhere? I was saying I don't think other people, like children who or like young people who aren't nurses, are going to know a lot of these words. But I know what these words mean. Submerged optical retention, so you can see better underwater. Hydro regenerative. Epidermal fibrosis. This stuff is so cool. Oh, my stamina is full and I'm nearly about to starve to death, so we better get a move on, hey? Alright. There's the other body of water. It doesn't look very large from here, but it's actually bigger than that one was. So, what I want to do... We're probably going to find a lot more of everything over there. You'll be able to see carnivores chasing each other and herbivores, probably tons of herbivores. This is like a dinosaur hotspot, and I know of another dinosaur hotspot that's way over there on the other side of that volcano. But we'll see if there are plenty up here first. Where's the migration zone? Oh, it's way over there. Does it still show me how many people are on? Yeah, there's 142 people playing on this server, so we should definitely see somebody. There's a fish. I could probably go eat that. Oh, no, that's not a fish. It's a crocodile. Hey, there's little fish for me to catch. I will try to skim if I can. You have to be so careful to balance this bit and not fall into the water. So I have to note like just the right amount of flapping. As you can see, it's not working. Oh, I got one. All I'm seeing are crocodiles. Oh, and I'm completely out of stamina already. Yes, there are, well, this is just this server. There are hundreds and thousands of people who know about this game and who play this game. But, you know, it is a game where you sit a lot and, you know, between things happening, you are resting. And a lot of people get very bored with that. And I think I'm actually in danger where I am. I'm not sat in a really good spot. But I think I'm too small for anyone to have noticed that I came over here. But in a moment, hope. Do you hear that? That's a Carnotaurus. As soon as I am just a little bit more stamina infused, we'll go have a look at the Carnotaurus. They're pretty impressive. They're not quite as big as a T-Rex, but they are pretty big. And they are the biggest land predator in the game right now. Yeah, it does look really important. Actually, I'll see if I can actually get it right now. What does that do? Probably that one would be really good too. Infrasound communication. Ooh. That'll be tremendously helpful for a lot of people. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff that has anything to do with stamina. Erendia. Alright, let's see. Let's go see if we can find these other dinosaurs so you can have a gander at them. There is a kind of dinosaur that can climb these trees, and, you know, they specialize in eating the kind of dinosaur that I am, which, by the way, pterosaurs are not dinosaurs. But anyway, they are called Herrerasaurus. They can climb trees and all kinds of surfaces, and they can jump really far, and they specialize in killing me. So I'm always a little bit nervous when I'm flying around the trees. Okay, that looks like a crocodile eating something. Okay, there's some Carnotauruses. You see them in the hill there? Oh, it looks like a Diabloceratops fighting with a Carnotaurus. Oh wait, that's a Ceratosaurus. It's a Ceratosaurus and Diabloceratops. There's several Diablos. Do you see them down there? The picture is kind of grainy. Oh, that Diabloceratops is fucking that guy up. And there's a Carnotaurus right there, running away from these Diabloceratopses. Looks like they've kind of taken over the area. The Diablos. That's a Diabloceratops call. Probably a call of triumph. It looks like he was winning that duel. Don't know where the Carnotaurus went. I don't see it anywhere. Is that food? It is. Oh, these are raptors. Raptors. A whole pack of them. And they're about to have a run-in with some Diabloceratops. But aren't they cute? Raptors are actually really cute. There's a little raptor. They'll probably try to jump up and get me if they can. Oh, there's a little raptor. Look at it. Hi, little raptor. Yeah, the Diablo's being aggressive to them too. Oh, don't kill the little ones. Oh, they did. They got a raptor. They got one of the little raptors. Do you guys want to see me die? Do you want to see me get eaten? Oh, I would never pick a fight with a Carnotaurus, but I might give these raptors a break when it comes to food. Okay, so the raptors are alarm forming. Alright, I'm gonna see if maybe I can feed the raptors. Oh, whoop. I don't want the Diablo to get me, I want the raptors to get me. Oh, his friend calling me. You're supposed to kill me. Don't you want to eat me? No, he's just being friendly. Well, that's no good. Well, I guess with that being the case, I might be able to just eat whatever this is. No, it's rotten. Oh, I'm gonna get killed by that. Of all things for me to get killed by. But yeah, as you can see, it's not a safe place out here. Not a safe place at all. Yeah, that was funny that the raptor wouldn't kill me. But raptors are actually a lot of fun to play. They are super cute. Oh, you can be Dilophosaurus too, and they're really cool looking. You can be Troodon. You can be the Herrerasaurus that climbs. You can be the crocodile. You can be Ceratosaurus, which is one of the bigger predators on the map. They're very tanky. They're probably the most vicious, like the most dangerous, but they aren't very fast. But these guys are the fastest, and they have like a really brutal charging attack, which makes them pretty much the apex on the server. So yeah, those are the carnivores that you can be. You could be several omnivores. The Viposaurus, this is the little penguin one that swims really fast. And then you can be a Gallimimus. Which is that Gallimimus. That one. And then you can be and then you can be that vicious piggy that killed me. Or you can be a cute little Dryosaurus, a Hypsilophodon. These are the smallest animals in the game, and they jump really high and they spit poison to blind enemies, and they are super cute. Ceratosaurus is like a pure strength build. Yeah, pretty much. Pachycephalosaurus is a strength build, medium dinosaur. The really cool thing about Pachycephalosaurus is they can charge headbutts and break your bones. And depending on where they hit you, they can really fuck you up. Like, if they hit you in the legs, they can break your legs and basically snare you so you can't move very swiftly. And if they get you in the legs, you're pretty much fucked because your maneuverability is gone and they're gonna just eat you. And then they can, if they headbutt you in the face, they can basically blind you. They can make it so you can't smell anything. So you can run away, but if you were faster than them, but you can't really see anything, you don't know where you're going, and you can't smell to tell like which direction you're heading in. It can kind of really mess you up. So they're really cool. They can break your ribs and make it so that your stamina regen is lower because now you can't like get a good breath in and all kinds of stuff. You do heal from all that stuff, but it takes a while. The really big guy on the server is the Stegosaurus. This is a pure strength build that nobody can really fuck with unless you're a highly skilled raptor or group of raptors. But pretty much the other two big predators are too slow. And Dilophosaurus isn't too slow, but it's not quite as agile. It's close, but not quite as agile as a raptor. It certainly can't jump, so it is also not really very good against the Stego. But Dilophosaurs are poisonous. They are venomous, and so they're pretty cool. And then you have your Tenontosaurus, which is a kind of iguanodon. Yeah, they do. Yeah, well, these guys are just a lot of fun to play. I guess you can tell they're one of my favorites. They're a lot of fun to play as a herbivore because they're pretty speedy, they can jump, they can really fuck shit up. It's just really cool. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's lots of kids that like this game. Which, to be honest, once the development progresses a little bit, I think their parents will be terribly dismayed. But that right now there are tons of kids who play this game. I used to always end up being like, so you can mate with another dinosaur in this game, and you can have a nest full of eggs, and other players can choose to be one of your eggs. So you hatch a little tiny baby, and then you have to feed your baby and protect your nest and bring food to your baby and vomit in their face. And you have to do all this stuff. And it's really difficult gameplay. So for a while there, I was like always being like a nest mother. And like everybody was, you know, 'cause I was one of the older players at 25. And all these children, like all these children would want to be a baby, and so like I'd have like 10 kids lining up to be my baby because I was known as like a good mother. Like, oh, she'll get you to adulthood. She'll get you to adulthood. So, yeah, that's kind of how this community is. They are very toxic to the devs, though. Like, if something doesn't go their way, or they think their dinosaur isn't balanced right, or you know, the devs make a change that they don't like, or they're going to add something that the kids don't like. These kids are very territorial about their dinosaurs. um, but but it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. They made group limits for certain dinosaurs, so you can't just have tons of them. I think raptors have a group limit of 8. I think Dilophosaurs have a group limit of, it's either 4 or 6. I can't remember. But the bigger you are, the more likely it is that you're going to have a tiny limit. Yes, very highly valued to be a good mother and a good father in this game, because the father's role is no different than the mother's, except so the way nest building works is you have to have 2 mated individuals that agree to nest together, and then they have to build the nest together, and then they have to take turns sitting on the eggs, incubating them, while the other one is going out and fetching food. And you have to fill the nest up with food in order to, like, I guess, build the nutrients of the eggs, but you also have to feed each other. Like, you also still have to eat. So it can get really intense, and you have to keep the eggs at a certain temperature. If you sit on the nest for too long with no break, they can get too hot. And if you don't sit on the nest long enough, or like as often as you need to, they can get too cold and spoil. And so sad things do happen. But anyway, that's a look at this game. We might revisit it at some time in the future. But I just wanted to like quickly give you guys a look at some other things that interest me, so we could kind of get a feel for whether or not you would care to have a look at, you know, something else I want to stream. What do you guys think? Do you want me to stick to Elden Ring? Either, or you don't care, really. You like the dinosaurs. Okay. Whatever I do, you support. That's very kind, Brandon. Thank you. But I do want to entertain others, so yeah, definitely. That's kind of why I like the Dino game, because it's kind of a mixed bag of playability, and eventually it's going to be really good for lore. Lots of downtime, and so I think that kind of doesn't make for as interesting live streams, but it might be okay for like video edits or whatever, for like fun moments or scary moments or whatever. but it would, you know, definitely fun to play. So I'm always looking for people to play with. So if some of you are interested in playing dinosaurs with me, we could do that too. And if there's groups, then we could join and call us the Saint Trinosaurus. 100%. Saint Trinosaurus. Um, but yeah, so you know, I just wanted to introduce the idea of me playing games other than just Elden Ring and talking about things other than just Elden Ring. And you know, I don't want to just be like repeating what everyone else is doing and talking about stuff that everyone else is talking about. I do kind of want to do things that I like, things that I enjoy, and you know, showing people kind of what I'm into, what I'm all about. As you can tell, I'm like super into dinosaurs. So, but but yeah, so I'll probably be doing a little bit of just some other things. But do you guys want to talk Elden Ring lore now? Let me see how long I've been streaming. I think I've been going for like about roughly the amount of time that I normally go. No, I could go for a little bit longer. But yeah, so that is that. There are some other games that I'm considering possibly streaming. Like I never played Stray all the way through, and it's a game where you are a cat. So I'm thinking about doing that. And just other things that I'm into. There's some games coming out that I'm interested in. And you know, stuff like that. Write them down. Write them down and I'll be happy to like readdress them at a later date. I have also thought about diving into other Souls games. The only problem that I think could arise with me diving into other Souls games um, is that it's territory other people have covered like super extensively for many, many years. So, you know, I'd be worried about how original my ideas could actually be. But also, if the game is like clunkier than Elden Ring, and like you can't jump and you don't have certain abilities that you do have in Elden Ring, and Elden Ring is like an upgrade in multiple ways, it will really take um, I don't know, the sensory fun out of it for me, if that makes sense. Um, oh yeah, do any of you know how to fix this? Yeah, that a lot of the Souls games before Elden Ring, you can't jump in them, and you know, I don't know, that might be a deal breaker for me. But look at this, guys. So I was playing with Blackcurrant and Revu, and suddenly they got booted from my game, and I got kicked. And when I came back, I was just in this infinite loop of falling and dying, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just like repeatedly falling and dying. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know if there's something I can do. I tried logging out as fast as I could before I die while I'm falling, and I actually made it happen. So I logged out and then I logged back in and I'm still doing it. And I've Alt F4'd and all of that, and it's just, you know. Do you know this? That scream sounds like the part where Atreyu gets taken by the Nothing, and you see like the little picture of him spinning in a storm, falling away. Atreyu, no. But yeah. So my character's just like forever falling like this. It's very sad. Aidendil, um have you played Elden Ring before? Um, I don't think I can. I haven't tried though. Let me try. Okay, map, 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 map. I'll try that. I don't know if it'll work while I'm falling. Ooh. Order life alert. Well, I want to get your opinion on it. As soon as I'm done trying the map thing. Oh, why is my cursor way over there? As soon as I'm done trying the map thing, I might show you around the world a little bit and tell me if you agree that it reminds you of the Neverending Story. Like there are a lot of parts of it that do. I have a friend who is a much bigger creator on YouTube than I am, and he yeah, I know, I'm trying, Brandon, gosh. He I showed him the Neverending Story. He had never seen it before. And no, it doesn't work. I can't click on anything. I tried. It doesn't like give me the option to do it. Can you manage to hit the round table hold shortcut keys? What is that? I didn't know there were round table hold shortcut keys. Brandon, you went from being so kind to so mean. But I think I'll just Alt F4 for now and consider the character soft locked. And just log into another character because I do want to show Aidendil some Elden Ring since Aidendil's never seen it. So yeah, definitely some bits that remind me very much of the Neverending Story, and I was just wondering if you get the same vibe. So I just consider that character soft locked and not log into her. Poor Lady Cather. So here is basically my main character aside from that one, and I will show you the bits that remind me the most of the Neverending Story. For one, you can run around through this place called like the Crystal Forest. And it reminds me a lot of like when you see that montage of Atreyu riding around on Artax through the world. You just see like crystals growing out of the ground, and this is kind of like that. And there's this giant school of magic right here, and more crystals everywhere. Which is really, really cool. Yeah, this character is safe, thank goodness. And then they have this really cool thing. I actually want to do it so I can show it to you. It gives me the Mauler vibes. Do you see that building right there? I think it's resting now because it's nighttime. But see how there's like a tree growing out of it, and it's like a little building. When I run over to it, it'll probably wake up. And when it wakes up, yes, Swamps of Sadness. And this is like, this gives me Mauler vibes. Big time. Oh, I've already made it sit. But before you make it sit, you have to jump on it. And it's walking around and stomping, and there's a bell underneath it. There's a font over there that you have to get on and make Torrent jump from there over here. And this just gives me such Mauler vibes with this tree on it, and when you get on it, you have to break these little things off. And when you've broken enough of them off, it just falls down. And when it falls down, it kicks you off, and you land in the water here like this. And it just reminds me so much of Mauler. But the purpose of this is for you to go inside, and you can get remembrances restored with the soulless body of a demigod. Excuse me. So that's one thing. Another thing that really reminds me of the Neverending Story, I'm going to go here to show you before going actually to it, is from this divine tower. If we go back down, even just the divine tower kind of gives the ivory tower vibes a little bit. But if we go back down, yeah, and this world is so lush with lore. The base story was written by George R.R. Martin, and then the rest was written by Hidetaka Miyazaki. And if you look in the sky there, there's a building that's just been obliterated by the storm. And you can go there, and that place is called Farum Azula, and that just gives me like the Nothing vibes, and just this world in suspension. It's so cool. And you can go there and have a look at it, and you can see another thing that looks very Neverending Story. They sang the song in Stranger Things. The best perspective is when you're way back here and you look this way. Look at that. It's just, yes, from the Nothing. It gives you, it's giving the ivory tower in outer space being ripped apart by the Nothing. Atreyu, no! Bastian, please! Why don't you do what you dream, Bastian? Call my name! I love it. It's so nostalgic. It's really, really cool. I love it. Just look at it. It's incredible. And that this is a video game, and you fight a boss in this room, and he like moves around really fast, and he's just like Gamork, by the way. Let me show you this boss, because I think he's still here. Yep, there he is. Geraint, by the way, is his name. Geraint, the clergyman, the clergy beastman or whatever. Geraint Gamork. Like, how close? There he is. And you can talk to him and he'll be like, bah. Let's hand him some death root.
I'm not sated. Feed me more death.
It's Gamork!
I am not sated. Feed me more death.
Blackman. But yeah, so very cool stuff, like incredibly cool. And they also have giants, really big giants who are frozen, none of whom are friendly, but they are all dead. But you can have like a look at them. He is not chained. He's sick. Chained to his death root addiction. Yeah, he's sick because he's been holding on to like the source of death in the world. Per his queen, his ruler. And you know, he requires like more death root in order to, I don't know, stay alive or something, I don't know. But he's sick with death basically. But here are these giants. They don't eat stone, but they're really impressive. And one of them you fight, which I've already have done, and he's dead. But really cool stuff. This is the arena where you fight him across this chain. It gives me such Neverending Story vibes. And do you remember that, like, the there's the Sphinx's eyes, you have to run past them, and you have to be confident, you can't doubt yourself, la la la, or the Sphinx's eyes will open and, like, obliterate you. They don't really have that in this game, but they do have the magic mirror gate. And it's in the form of something called a mimic. And the really cool thing is you go into this room and this mirror silver blob like suddenly turns into you, and like it's just so cool because, like, you know, just everything in the Neverending Story keeps popping up, and, like, you know, kind people find that they are cruel, brave men find that they are really cowards, most men run away screaming, like all that stuff is so cool because the mimics kind of give you that vibe. When you kill a mimic, you can basically you can find it somewhere in the world, you pick it up and you can use it as an ally and see it like just, it's a magic mirror gate. It turns into a reflection of you. But yeah, I just wanted to see what another Neverending Story person thought about, like, all the likenesses in Elden Ring with the Neverending Story, because, you know, I grew up with the film, and later on when I grew up I read the book, and then I found your video where you're doing like the voiceover thing, and it was just so awesome. And I don't think like a lot of other people who are playing this game are drawing the similarities, but it's so similar in some ways that I think there's no doubt that Miyazaki was definitely thinking about the Neverending Story when he developed this game. Because there are aspects that are just so uncannily seem to be, you know, inspired by the Neverending Story. Like that moment, you know, in the Swamps of Sadness with the mausoleum and getting knocked down into the water, and it just is very, 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 very uh, Mauler, but there's something else that's very Mauler. In the same zone where you get knocked into the water and there's that tree growing on the tower, there is a giant tortoise. It is, it really is. And the Neverending Story is so underrated. Um, like, not a lot of people anymore, like, seem to be aware of it. But look at this. A giant tortoise. And it speaks to you.
Do you need anything?
It's not cruel, though, and it's not, nihilistic. But it is a really cool interaction that you can have with this tortoise.
What have we here? Very well, let us both learn together.
And the tortoise is very
Heresy
wise.
is not native to the world. It is but a contrivance. All things can be conjoined.
Just very cool, very cool. Yeah, I highly recommend. The film is different. Yeah, nothing matters. Go away. We are allergic to youth. I love it. I love it so much. I grew up listening to those voices. I can do so many of them so well. Like, it has to hurt if it's to heal. Like, I love the Neverending Story so much. For me, most of the nostalgia comes from the film, but I did read the book later, and they really are very different. But to me, there's still so much value in both of them. Like, I love them both so much, and I highly recommend them both. And the reason why I recommend both is because while they are similar, and obviously the film is inspired by the book, they are vastly different. And the book is just a whole other story, a whole other adventure, and you get... It goes deeper than the film does, but the film is really good. Yeah, I can imagine it was. But yeah, I think that's about all I have in me for today, guys. I'm sorry today was not very lore heavy. I don't know, I'm just like, I know I have a bunch of videos to kick out, but I've been feeling a bit, how do I word this? I've been feeling discouraged, I guess, by the fact that I've noticed a trend where I talk about stuff in my streams, and I'm really excited to get these ideas out, and the next thing I know, like a month later or 2 months later or however many weeks later, Hawkshaw is talking about it, or what's his face, the Japanese guy who does Garrulus Goldmask, he's talked about stuff that I talk about in my streams. Even Zuli the Witch has talked about stuff that I talk in my streams. People in the Discords have talked about stuff that I talk about in my streams. But nobody watches my streams. So I'm not saying that people are poaching my ideas, because obviously I don't think that they are. Nobody's watching my streams. But I do think that doing lore the way that I am with such a small audience, my like influence in the lore community is almost nothing, and it is just a little bit discouraging to share these ideas and these thoughts and feel like, you know, I don't know, like I have a perspective that isn't being shared anywhere else. And then the next thing I know, like a big lore streamer who's been streaming forever all of a sudden is saying the same thing, and it's like, fuck, like if I put this into a video now, I'm gonna look like I'm copying them, even though it's from a stream that I did well before they ever shared this information. And it's not that I don't know. It's not that I feel like I'm competing with anyone or anything like that, and it's not that I feel like I guess the basic thing that I'm trying to say is it just feels a little bit discouraging to have been saying stuff for a while, and because it's not the right medium, I'm not getting even some people who do watch me, like Jack, for example. I'm not getting like the same kind of response that I would get from him if I actually made a video. And I've noticed that because like when I first met him, I was telling him that Fia is Fortisax, and it's like she's like in the name, it's in her behavior, the reason why we see a dragon in the dream and all this other stuff, and they talk about, she's obviously in love with Godwyn. It's super obvious. And she's gestating a rune of death. It's so obvious to me that she is a dragon, and they tell you that dragons can turn into human form and this, that, and the other, and somehow sweet little Fia, who wants to give you a hug, sitting on the side of a bed, somehow killed this Golden Order fundamentalist bigot, who's like a knight who specializes in killing people who live in death. I just think it's really obvious that she is a dragon. And when I was telling Jack that at first, he just kind of glossed over it and was like, I don't buy it. But now it's like not only does he buy it, but it's like a big part of his overarching theory, which he believes is like the truth behind the whole story, like the giant revelation in the whole story of Elden Ring, which it may well be, but it's premised on a thing that I told him about a long time ago that he never really bought, but then when other people brought it to his attention in other ways, then he's like, oh yeah. So I just think that putting my ideas in a stream where really only like people that follow me are gonna see it, and not like making videos which seem to get a lot more attention on YouTube, is making me feel like I'm doing the wrong thing, if that makes sense, when it comes to lore. I'm happy to stream. I enjoy talking to you guys. I love the feedback that I get from you. I love the way you guys engage with me. But I almost feel like I really could be doing anything else. And like the lore just kind of, I don't know, I get buried. I get buried. Brandon Jensen says, I think you are first starting out on YouTube. You should do what matters to you, regardless of who's done it before or around you. And especially with lore, y'all are pulling from the same game, and others might have similar theories because of that. That's how it should be in general, in my opinion, says Enoch. And Blackman says, just gotta put your own rendition of these ideas out. People will see the difference in what makes your thoughts unique. Just realize your ideas are so valuable because they came from your own thoughts. That's really kind of you guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that. They are very valid sentiments, and they're very kind too, and I'm very grateful that you guys are supportive of me in that way. But that's not really what I was trying to say. I'm not feeling like my ideas are worthless or anything like that. All I'm saying is I feel like I'm putting them in the wrong place. Does that make sense? Things can be incredibly niche, Valkyrie 420 says, and I find if you keep at your own style, people can convert over. Fighting the algorithm isn't worth losing your preferences, in my opinion. Evolve at your own pace. Yeah, you're probably right. I just feel like, I don't know, I've noticed a pattern in the lore community of like people want to be the first ones to get like ideas out and stuff like that. And there are some people, for example, like, okay, so Scum Mage Infer just released a highly controversial video, which is like his whole niche of lore that like nobody has said the things that he is saying, and they're incredible. And he is just this lore sleuth that has come out of nowhere and is just explaining the game to everybody, and it's just incredible. um, but I noticed like people are saying things to him like, oh blah, you know, you are like underrated, blah blah blah, and then saying these people are better, right? Well, then one of the creators who was in that comment liked that comment where they were talking shit about him, but then when another person commented on his video about Scum Mage's theory, he liked that theory and pinned it because that theory was awesome. So he's going to say the guy who created that theory is, you know, overrated and kind of shit, but then be like, oh, this theory is so awesome. I don't know, there's like this weird hostility in the lore community where it's kind of like it didn't used to be this way and people are starting to like eat their own, if that makes sense. Blackman says, even just your voice, production choice of editing will stand out enough to draw people in. Thank you, Blackman, I appreciate that. If it just reverses Uno the law, you are capable of doing that too. But I love him. Oops, the paper trail, two-faced moves. This specific demographic is like weirdly catty sometimes. Sorry, not sorry. No, you're absolutely right, Valkyrie. And that's literally what I'm talking about. It's the weird cattiness and the weird, like, I got that idea out first, like this weird, pick me, I'm so awesome, that's coming from nowhere. It just kind of, I don't know, it makes you feel a certain type of way. Yes, it does, Aidendil. It really does. And I figured that might be where you are from with a name like Aidendil. Aidendil. But anyway, yeah, lore communities in general are like that. Paleontology is like that too, believe it or not. Anything where people are trying to piece stories together and they're like fighting for value in the community, fighting for, you know, their knowledge to be like groundbreaking and better and special and first. All of that stuff. Attention is a beast that roars on all fours. That's so true, Brandon. Sorry I'm late. Work is being a bitch. Hi, Kate and friends. Hi, Metal Fox, and the George R.R. Martin of Song of Ice and Fire community isn't like this. Yeah, see, that's wonderful about George's community. You know, I'm a huge fan of like David Lightbringer and Quinn's ideas and a couple of others in that. I love Grey Area. She's incredible. I love Preston Jacobs. He's really good too. There's a couple of really good lore creators on YouTube from A Song of Ice and Fire, and I haven't noticed them being that way at all, and I haven't noticed them sniping each other's ideas or anything like that. So I just think it's a bit silly that that kind of thing sort of seems like it's starting to happen, and there's people talking about other people saying like, oh, you're sniping that stuff from Reddit from like 2 years ago, and I'm just like, no. Yeah, Quinn is brilliant. He's incredible for all kinds of sci-fi. Maybe A Song of Ice and Fire has been waiting on its hands too long to be uppity. Lol. That's true. But at the same time, I mean, there's a lot of, like, Tolkien has been out for longer than anything George has written, and people are still being that way about Tolkien. But you know, and some people are that way about Dune as well. I've seen some people be really, really like serving all kinds of cunt over Dune. It's like, just read the bloody books. It's right there. But, you know, whatever. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that I am feeling a bit discouraged about talking about lore in a live stream, which is kind of, there's that, and also that like all my friends in the lore community kind of, it feels like they are dying off. Like they want to get to the end for some reason. They want the end, and they're trying to find the end. And that's not how I see the law. That's not how I want to enjoy the law or express it. I don't want there to be an end. I want to be able to understand what happened for certain, but this game is supposed to be a cycle. The story of this game is meant to be a cycle. The memory of grace says, lose all runes, blah blah blah. It is merely a cycle. Stand before the Elden Ring. Become the Elden Lord. And when you do play this game and you go to certain places, for example, like if you go to see Tanith in Volcano Manor, when she starts talking to you, she says, "Oh, how strange that you are here. Not quite unlike someone we had long ago." She is talking about you. You have been here before, and you will be here again. It's a never-ending story.
You... It's true then. You've defeated
Oh,
our Lord.
well, I'm well past that.
No,
I'm sorry to hear you're feeling
must
discouraged. I
thank
just
you.
want to say you have
Our
built a
Lord
beautiful,
was yet
supportive
weak.
community already, and that's such an amazing
You have
achievement.
taught us
You
that
know what, though?
defeat
I don't
is
think
not
that
the
I
end.
achieved that.
Our Lord
You
is
guys are
immortal,
just beautiful and
and will
amazing
one
and
day
supportive.
rise
Like, that's not something I did. You guys are brilliant.
I must
Um,
stay the path.
And I'm so
do
grateful
my
for you.
part.
And I do want to make it clear that me saying that I'm feeling discouraged and everything, it has nothing to do with me not feeling fulfilled by my viewers and the people who are engaging with me in chat and, doing what are we calling them? Movie parties? What are we calling it? Watch parties, where we're watching films together and stuff like that. Like, you guys are wonderful, and I've been really happy to make it sort of a routine to kind of be here at the same time every day and talking about lore and showing you the game and stuff. But you guys have all played this already, so I feel like it might benefit us for me to stop thinking about what other people are doing, just like you guys were saying before. Just stop thinking about what other people are doing and saying, and just do what I've been doing on my platform and just enjoy it. So I've been kind of thinking about doing an actual playthrough, and starting from the beginning and reading, all the descriptions and looking around at the world and sharing my thoughts of, level design and the things that characters are saying and the things that lore items are saying. Like, for example, the memory of grace. Like, that's a really big thing. You get that at the beginning of the game. It's a really important item that you get at the beginning of the game. And for it to say it's merely a cycle, stand before the Elden Ring, become the Elden Lord, for there to be evidence that Miquella was waiting for us, that he knew that we would come, that he leaves Torrent for us, that Melina and Ronnie are both there to see to it that we make it out of the beginning and that we are worthy. And then if you listen to some people theorizing that Vare is actually not loyal to Mohg, instead he's always been loyal to Miquella. And the reason why people think that, look at this dagger. It says, dagger favored by military physicians in white. In white, which is not unusual for physicians or perfumers or whatever, but it's also not unusual for Miquella. The pointed blade is hard and sharp, making critical hits especially potent. Medicine is mercy, and mercy upon the battlefield is ruthless. Beware the killers, clothed as men of compassion. Bruh. Hi, Ephraim. Yeah, it's you know, for sure. I'm definitely gonna do a new game plus run. I don't think I'm gonna actually start a brand new character. but um but 100% I'm gonna start from the beginning. Because it doesn't matter, because as I've read before, like, all of this has happened before. We have been here before. We're getting remembrances of grace and remembrances of things because we have done this before and we will do it again. And you're supposed to. That's why there's New Game Plus, New Game Plus 2, New Game Plus 3, etc., etc. And but yeah, so I think this what would go against Miquella's desires? Brandon? Well, I really think that Miquella, why are there red flags? Yeah, I like the idea that Vare's romantic notions and healing background being in relation to Miquella. I agree, Valkyrie. I think that, I think it's definitely related. Um, and I do think that Miquella is kind of everywhere, um, by his own machinations. Like he wanted it to be this way. Um, but anyway, the one manning the portal knows the Miquella spells. That's true. Never mind, I heard it wrong. Oh, okay, Brendan. But yeah, so I think, and actually, I do want to shout out the person whose theory this is, because this is not my theory. The person whose theory this is he's called Gamer. What's he called? He is called. I just recently watched his video, so hopefully it will just pop up. It's something like Game Plus The Alchemist. It's here, I'm gonna put a link in the chat. It's this guy right here. Yeah, Game Plus Alchemist or something like that. It's his theory. He's a really good lore creator who, in my opinion, is very underrated. He is responsible for a couple of theories that people hated right before the DLC launched. But he's also responsible for really brilliant theories, including theories about Mesmer, that he was the first to come out with theories about all kinds of characters that he pioneered. He's got really unique ideas. They are. I mean, in real life, this is something from history. In real life, people did used to mercy kill. And in fact, it's so prominent that George R.R. Martin writes about it in A Feast for Crows, when there's all these bodies, the Feast for Crows, you know, after big battles, there were people walking through the bodies, killing people who were still alive, to make certain that they didn't suffer, unless they could be healed, and then they were, you know, tended to and healed and all of that. But 100%, like, this is a thing from actual history. What's going on with my game right now? So mercy killing, back when medicine wasn't as advanced as it is today, was a real thing. And I don't know why or when medicine moved away from euthanasia for humans. I guess a lot of people kind of got the impression that healers should be healing and preserving life and first do no harm, the Hippocratic Oath. Uh, but sometimes prolonging life is doing harm, and sometimes the most merciful and healing thing that you can do is grant someone mercy and end their suffering and the suffering of their family. Let their family move past, mourning someone who's actually still living, and let them move into mourning someone who has passed. Mercifully. The Interesting Nerd Club just did an episode on diseases of Westeros, and I spent the whole time thinking about the rot and madness. Yeah, and I mean these are real things that affect people in real ways, and I think the rot might be like something akin to leprosy. If you know about leprosy in history, leprosy and people used to be put in leper colonies, like a whole village of just people who were lepers. And the reason why is because nobody wanted to get their leprosy. Nobody wanted them around. They were ugly. They were scary, and their disease was frightful. And so people in, quote, leper colonies were living in villages of just other people with leprosy, and frequently they would go mad, because imagine being shunned by society because of an illness that you have. So, yes, Hansen's disease. Like, these things are fascinating, and the way that this game has implemented them in its storytelling is also really fascinating. Yes, you shall not kill. First, do no harm. Certainly. But the reason I wanted to point this out is because of the cyclical nature of, like, just the way this game's story is premised. And then when we come talk to Tanith, she's like, oh, you're not unlike someone who was here long ago. When you play this in New Game Plus 1, 2, 3, whatever, you've already been here, you've already talked to her, it hits different when she says that to you. When she's like, not unlike someone who was here long ago, you're like, shit. Because when you do New Game Plus, if you listen to what the All-Knowing says, what's his name? I haven't spoken to him or about him in so long. I avoid him because I hate him. What's his name? Gideon, the All-Knowing. He says it's by America's design that we should suffer for eternity. And I think what he doesn't understand is that he thinks that we're not supposed to kill a god. But what he doesn't realize is that America wants us to try and try and try and try and try until we are strong enough to kill a god, to change the world, to birth something new into the world. And every time we do and do a New Game Plus, we're back where we started, but we're stronger. And we can use these dragon scales to as whetstones to give to what's his face? God, why can't I remember anybody's names? To give to Master Hugh to craft us a weapon strong enough to kill a god. Which is fascinating because really that is what he's doing. When you hand him weapons and upgrade them, when you hand him weapons and put a skill on them, he is crafting you weapons that are stronger, that you can kill demigods and everything else that you have to kill until you actually get to Gideon Ofnir. Yes, Gideon Ofnir, the all boring. I think he is a twat, and I do not like him a single bit. But I also, I think he's wrong about a lot. And I think he interprets things with a ruthlessness. And I think that as ruthless as America seems, and as ruthless as some of her deeds have been, this world does that. Like the Hornsent, whom she massacred, they were massacring her people. And the more I think about it, the more I think, like, technically these could be, they could qualify as genocides, but if you look at it, whether, I don't think the Hornsent were intending to drive the shaman to extinction. I think what they were intending to do is make people unholy holy, and these people were pure, but their flesh melded harmoniously with the flesh of others. And according to the Hornsent religion, which is very much crucible based, they were like, well, their flesh yearns to meld harmoniously with the flesh of others, and such is the sacred way. So I don't think the Hornsent, while their processes and everything else looks really awful, I don't think that they were just like horrible people who wanted to genocide the shaman. I think that they were trying to make them holy. They were trying to make them saints, and that's not an excuse for the nasty horribleness that they're doing. I do think it's wrong. I kill those potentates every chance I get. But you have to look at, when you're going to classify something as genocide, you have to look at the intent. And how we classify things as genocide is the mass killing that they're doing, is the massacring that they're doing, is it with the intent of making it impossible to survive to the people that they're inflicting it on. And I don't think that's the case with the Hornsent. I do think it's the case with some things that are happening in real life. And I do think it was the case with Marika and the Giants. But Marika let far too many Hornsent people live for me to believe that, and Messmer isn't out there still like advancing armies and stuff like that. This is a very old war that's waged, and it looks like they are holding on to territories, but they're not advancing on whatever that city is. What's it called? Bellerat? Yeah, I'm not remembering things until like right after I ask. But anyway, they're not advancing on Bellerat. We don't see any evidence at all of Messmer's men there, but we know that they were there at one point, and they, you know, brought low the city, and, you know, it's awful. So anyway, my point is to say that I think there are nuances even in the horribleness that's occurring in the game, and I'm not trying to excuse Marika's deeds or the Hornsent's deeds or anyone's deeds. There's horrible nastiness happening in this world, and that's why Miquella wants desperately to make it a kinder world. But I think that he knew, like Melina knew, Marika's secret. And Marika's secret is that she stashed all of the kindness of gold away. Secret incantation of Queen Marika. Only the kindness of gold, without order. So what this tells us is all of the kindness was poured into the secret left in the shaman village, and her golden order was all of the order of gold with no kindness. So that's why I think Miquella's like, how do we make a better world? How do we do all this stuff? I can ascend to godhood, but we learn in Miquella's incantation what Miquella already knew, which is the strength of Miquella upon his Deephic return, wielded as an incantation. Miquella sought to accept all that was and would be, but found one that refused to be embraced, and he knew that we would. This is the part that I used to think was so stupid and made me so angry, and now it makes so much sense to me. No wonder, as one god and one king consort is all the world needs. Miquella knew that we would come for him, and he knew that there could only be one god and one king consort, and he knew that when we defeat him, we would take his circlet. His circlet that says, the circlet of light which adorned Miquella's head as he returned in divine aspect. It has begun to fade into nothingness. Slightly boosts, all that shit. This circlet was to be the very foundation upon which Miquella's age of compassion would be built, should it have ever come to pass. What this means to me is this is Miquella's Elden Ring. He knew we were coming for it. He knew we would get it. He knew that we would take all of the kindness of gold without order. And we know it's without order because Miquella abandoned Golden Order fundamentalism, right? Well, look at this. It says here, specifically, it says, incantation of those who served Miquella produces multi-layered ring of golden light and fires it forwards, inflicting continuous damage on those struck by it. Blah blah blah. This light ring incantation was cultivated by a tradition separate from Golden Order fundamentalism. It is now without order. It is unalloyed gold. And we know that it is unalloyed gold because when we cast it, you get this. Oh, oops. Wrong spell. You get this. And when we cast this, which I'll read the description for in a moment, we see the same exact symbol. And it says, thought it said somewhere that this was unalloyed gold. Light greatsword with gold inlaid, weapon of Leda, deals holy damage. Mirror sheen, this blade still reeks with the stench of crusted blood that lingers from the cull of her knightly comrades. Skill of Needle Knight Leda generates 10 gold needles which pierce. Okay, so it doesn't say that, but I think it's obvious. So the circlet is like the strings that Marika takes in the trailer. Yes, yes, the circlet is Miquella's power that he intends to make into his Elden Ring, his new age. It was the foundation upon which that was going to be built. So this is the beginning of his version of the Elden Ring. And that's fascinating because when we cast this spell, we don't see this sigil over our head anymore. We see his Elden Ring. Do you see that? So I really do think that all of this was Miquella's master plan. I really do think that Miquella intended for everything to happen the way it did, just like Marika does. Marika intends for us to do all the things that we're doing into perpetuity until we can defeat her. Because like this world is basically dead because there is no greater will. There is no greater will. And I think at some point Marika must have caught on to that. She must have realized, you know, the fingers. Okay, so the moment we get into the game, the first thing the fingers want us to do is kill all the demigods. Kill, 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 kill. Well, we have a cutscene where Melina says, you know, words of America echo here. Would you like to hear them? And if you say yes, she's like, America said, demigods all, my children, make of thyself what thy will, be it a lord, be it a god. But should you fail to do so, you will be naught but sacrifices. And something about being, a shitty upstart lolling on the fringes like a whingy boy. She says some shit like that. I think a lot of people took that as, God, America is such a bitch. And she could have been being a bitch in that moment. Girl boss, gatekeep, gaslight, all of that. But I kind of don't think that that's what's happening. I think when she's saying that, she's understanding what the powers above her want to do. She's understanding that they want to replace her with an Empyrean, which is why they're even talking about Empyreans. Why would they be talking about Empyreans? They want to replace her. Well, she's kind of like, fuck it, I kind of want you to replace me too, because I want to die. But at the same time, she wants, make of thyself that which ye desire, be it a lord, be it a god, but should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting only to sacrifices. Yes, which is what I said. Different words, what I said. But, yes. Thank you, Iftain. So I think what this means, in my opinion, is Marika. So if we go to the round table hold, all of the finger readers, have you noticed that they are all dead when you go to, here, we'll focus on this first. Why did she die? Because we burned the Erd tree. Why did it kill her? Does anyone have any ideas why it might have killed her? It really is fun to quote. So why would burning the tree kill her? We don't know. But we do know that this two fingers here is one of the last remaining living two fingers in the world. And what did he want us to do? Kill, 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 kill. Until he learned something, didn't tell us, and is doing this, desperately waiting to hear back from the greater will, or maybe from Meta. But Meta's not hearing back from the greater will, so she's not responding anymore. So all we know is that the fingers first wanted us to do all this shit. We started doing it, and then the fingers were like, oh, I'm done. Well, if you go, maybe, because the rune of death is back, and so, now she's dying. But if that were the case, then how come all of these guys who are like decrepit undead guys, why are they alive still? Like if we go here, I want to say yes, but if that's the case, then when we burn the Erd tree, all of these decrepit, nasty, old noblemen, they should die too. But they aren't dying. But there's something else. Even before we burn the Erd tree, there is a line of finger readers that are dead in the palace before you arrive to Marika's chambers. Here, let me show you. Oh, and then this finger reader, she's alive. So I don't think it's because of death. Look at her. She's just as decrepit and you know, La. She's alive. And look at these guys. They were alive before I killed them. But they shouldn't be. They should be dead. Lol. Thank you, Brandon. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. But yeah, I want to show you something. If you come to the Queen's bedchamber, you will see right outside of her bedchamber is rows of dead finger readers. And it may very well be that the Black Knife Assassin that was sat here is the one who did it. Because I think the Black Knife Assassins are staunchly against the Greater Will. Wait a second. Oh, those are her, like, it's part of her clothing. But yeah, they're just finger readers lined up and dead, and there's no like evidence of how or why they died. They're just dead. Look inside their eye sockets. It's hair. Are these shaman women, do you think? I want to get a good look at their headdress. Think you could stop what we do? I doubt it. Yeah, let's go back over there. I want to look at that headdress. Yeah. So I just think that something's not adding up, and it's either because it's just a detail that they just like, oh well, that doesn't add up, but that's okay. Gameplay, right? Gameplay. We need these ones to be alive for gameplay purposes. But with Miyazaki making even things that don't seem like they would have any lore significance, very meta lore, I doubt that. I think he implemented every bit of the game into the story. Every functional part of the gameplay has story relevance. So if we look here at her headdress, what is that symbol? We know she's a finger reader, so could it be a hand or a fist or something? I don't know what it is. She has those things around her neck. This could be like the talents around the necks of maesters who get Valyrian steel coins or whatever, ringlets, put on their chains. Could be a thing like that. Look at the vasculature in her foot and her hand. So like her veins have some palpability to them. But anyway, I don't know, guys. It's just a thing that I'm thinking about. It's a thing that I am thinking about, and stuff is either not adding up or it... Yes, I know what sacred geometry is, and I know that a lot of it is at play with things like a lot of these spells, like this, and the Golden Order, you know, in general. Um, but I don't see sacred geometry like in her headdress there at all. I don't know, maybe you do? But I see a lot of like floral embellishments and stuff, and something in the middle that could be the Erdtree. It could be a fist. It could be any number of different things, but it just doesn't look like. It could even be Meta's face. But anyway, that's just something I was thinking about. It's something that isn't really adding up for me. There's a lot of stuff like that. That makes you wonder, you know. And when did this era of knights pass? Look at that. Look at that shield. I want to see if that shield is the same one that the what are they called? Not Erdtree Guardians. Erdtree Sentinels. Tree Sentinels. It is different. It has a different emblem on it. I can't quite make it out. Does it look like it's just the tree? Yeah, they do seem Tree Sentinel coded. But I wonder why there was a change. Because if you look at the Tree Sentinels guarding the Shaman village, they look like the modern iteration. You know, the version of them that we are familiar with. You still can't really make out what that is. Yeah, it's really incredible. It's really incredible with its visual storytelling. And it makes me wonder, so there's something going on, guys, with these. In the realm of shadow, this artifice was employed by the priests of the Erdtree to intensify the fears of their flock to magnificent effect. An iris that is as dark as night. An iris blessed with an incantation of the Erdtree. In the realm of shadow, this artifice was employed by the priests of the Erdtree to quell the fears of their flock to magnificent effect. Into fear and doubt. Into fear and doubt. Into fear, doubt, and loneliness. Sword of light. From the quick of the root, unswerving rays of light intersect and reflect to give the silver blade form. Unleashes the light carved in the armament's blade. La 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 la. Do I have the one of shadow? I don't, but so between those, do I have the do I have anything from What the fuck? Do I have anything from... like that black armor from... I don't have it. But there's something going on here. Between those swords of light, which are very ancient and can be traced back to those swords that we see those stone-sheathed swords that we see telling stories. Oh, Aegi's still alive, thank goodness. These here, the stone-sheathed swords, look exactly like these, right? These are stone-sheathed swords. Why do they come in so many sizes? Why are some of them so big? And why is this sword from some ancient past telling a relatively modern story? Why? I mean, obviously we are supposed to realize... Oops. We're supposed to realize that these things are connected, right? Like, look at the hilt. Look at the crossguard. Look at the pommel. Look at the hilt. Look at the crossguard. Look at the pommel. Like, these, they're the same thing. And I think I've already talked about this in a stream. Those are the same thing as this as well. Something's not not adding up for me. Something doesn't make any sense. Or it's like right in our face and it's making tons of sense, but I can't piece it together. There's like a big thing missing. But it's right here. It's right in our faces. This means something. Those dead finger maidens, finger readers, they mean something. The fact that some of them are still living. Ronnie's ending is about a lonely travel and doubt and something, right? Yes, that's why I kept saying into fear, doubt, loneliness. Because we're talking about into fear, doubt, and loneliness, right? Well, look at the iris that I was talking about. The fuck is it? It talks about place on the eye of another to deny them light in all its forms. Place on the eye of another to grant them light of grace as a fleeting blessing. Well, this talks about how it was used to intensify the fears of their flock to magnificent effect, into fear, doubt, and loneliness. Is there a connection? Do you suppose those swords are star swords and the swords tell the story of fate, like an astrology angle? Quite possibly, but I think there's something big going on here that is just out of my reach, and it's frustrating me. Ronnie says, very formulaically, she talks about the coming of her age, the coming of the stars, la 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 la. Mikola follows the same formula when he starts talking about his age, but they changed it. We have an iris of dark talking about increasing people's fears. Then we have this one talking about being a blessing that would quell their fears. One of them is light, one of them is dark. Ronnie is dark, Mikola is light. The sword of light, the sword of darkness. these are all super ancient. Sword of Light and Sword of Darkness are connected to these stone-sheathed swords, stone-sheathed swords, which have something to do with the Alabaster Lord swords, which have something to do with the Clayman spears, which have something to do with the Claymen. Pulled from its stone scabbard at an altar. So we're talking about Sword in the Stone. We're talking about King Arthur. I do definitely think that the iris is being used to manipulate. And I mean, that much seems really obvious from the way that it's worded. Employed by the priests of the Erdtree to intensify the fears of their flock to magnificent effect. That sounds like manipulative words. So I do agree with you to some extent, but I don't think that they are unrelated. I think that shadow and light always serve the same way in this world. And you know, Miquella's spell here is called Light of Miquella. It's still golden, but it is super bright. It's blinding. There's something here that I just feel like I can't piece together. But it's obvious to me that there's something here that should be pieced together. But anyway, guys, I've been streaming for a long time, and I'm not saying anything new. I'm kind of repeating myself over and over. So I think I'm going to close it here. But if you guys have any thoughts on what could connect darkness, light, stone-sheathed swords, alabaster lord swords, what seems to be something from the beginning of time being used in more recent times to tell stories. I wish we could get a description of this itself. And it's written in light, white light. And you know, I noticed something else that was white. If you go to any dungeon, here, let's go here so I can show you something. If you go to any dungeon in the game, there's another place where there is white light, and it looks quite... Okay, before I go there, I want you to have a really close look at this grace. See how it's like a pile of, I don't know, bark or something, and then twigs and roots all around the base, and what looks like little shoots coming up. And then is the form of what looks like kind of a person in disarrayed light, and then shards of grace, golden grace, leading off, you know, in a direction to point us the way, right? Well, now have a look at this. When I summon Torrent, watch my hand. There's like a ripple in water, and it's the same kind of ripple that we saw at the Grace. Well, there's another... Oh, I guess I've never done this dungeon. But the reason why I wanted to do it is because I wanted to show you something really quickly, which I suppose I can do really quickly. Look at this. It's white light. And this teleports us. It teleports us to the beginning of the zone. It has the same white silver ripples around its base. This means something, and all of these things are connected and they mean something, and I need to try to piece it together, and I don't know how to. So anyway, guys, I've been Kate the Kind. You've been magnificent and wonderful and kind, and I really appreciate everybody for being so supportive, always showing up. You guys are always here to support me. I'm so grateful. I truly am really grateful for our little corner of this community. So in spite of how discouraging they can make me feel, and in spite of the toxicity and, you know, all of that other stuff, this corner of the lore community is really, really awesome, and you guys have made me feel welcomed. You've made me feel wonderful about talking about things that I'm passionate about. I can't read my comments anymore because my phone died, so I can't see what people are saying. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys for you know, popping in and hanging out, and I hope that you will come see some movies with me and the gang. For those of you who have not joined the Discord, I highly encourage you to join my Discord. You are safe there, you are welcome there, you will be respected, and you can be yourself there. And you don't have to feel obligated to talk to anybody or anything, but you will catch exclusive things that are happening in the Discord that you won't, you know, be able to catch on my YouTube channel if you want to hang out further than just my streams and the other content that I have coming. Tweaks and I are going to be starting our viewings of Arcane, which we'll do by just watching it and recording it. So what I want to I guess advert to you guys is, if you join the Discord, you will be able to join us for a viewing of Arcane, but we will keep you muted. But you will be able to join us and watch along with us if you want, and listen to what we are saying to each other about Arcane. And we do also have watch parties, which is the kind of stuff we've been voting on YouTube. But there will be more watch parties. There will be sometimes co-op gameplay on PC and PlayStation. We've got PlayStation players that like to play together, including Metal Fox Sound and a couple of other people. But yeah, there's a lot going on in our little corner, and it's not just about me, it's about you guys and the community that you guys have built, you know, around just, I guess, watching me. But yeah, so it's a brilliant place to talk. Everybody's wonderful there, and I really hope that you guys will Discord link invite invalid ripperoni. Oh, is it invalid? How do I post my Discord on the thing? I will post an invitation to the chat right now if I can. Let's see. That's strange because people have been joining the Discord from the link that I placed on my channel. Here. You can join my Discord there. and yada yada yada. Like I said, don't feel pressured to talk to people. Don't feel pressured to engage. That's not what this is about. It's just that if you would like the chance to sit in and watch Arcane with Tweaks and I while we're reviewing it slash commenting on it, reacting to it, you can sit in the chat and watch the film with us and listen to us. There will be watch parties, there will be co-op of different games, not always just Elden Ring, coordinated in my Discord. And of course there's always tons of talk and music sharing and everything else. So it's a really nice little community. If you guys like the comment sections of my streams, a lot of the people that are in those streams are already in my Discord. So yeah, so anyway, join up if you feel like it. I'll be happy to see you there, and hopefully, yeah, we can get up to some fun stuff. Alright, I guess that's all I have to say. I hope you guys all have a lovely day, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Everybody take care. Thank you guys again so much for your support and for your kindness and your patience. It really does mean the world to me, and I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye everybody.